is going to be a doozy. And it starts off, Chris, with the second part of ESPN's top 100 list. We saw Malik Monk and Keegan Murray go yesterday. Keegan Murray in the 90s, which was ridiculous. Malik Monk in the 60s.
I believe so. I think he was 65, if I remember correctly.
And now, as they reveal 50 through 11, where do our Sacramento Kings land?
I think yesterday I guessed that DeMar DeRozan would be mid to high 30s, and I think I said Sabonis and Fox would both be somewhere hovering near the mid to low 20s. Mm-hmm. And let's just say I was wrong. I think on all of those fronts. Let's start here at number 50 because we're not going to carry on for much longer after that. For this first name, at least. You have LaMelo Ball falling in at number 50. You have Aaron Gordon at number 49. Julius Randle of the Minnesota Timberwolves at 48. Number 47, you have a guy that I'm going to be incredibly high on this year. I'm just letting you all know, Evan Mobley. I'm expecting a big Evan Mobley season this year. And 46 is Kristaps Porzingis. I stopped there because you can figure out the rest. As number 45 is one DeMar DeRozan, where we get our first of the Kings' big three. And for those who weren't with us yesterday, this is a top 100 list that ESPN puts together. They have their expert panel vote on player versus player. Voters were asked, quote, which player will be better in 24-25? So this is more of a prediction article than a where is the current state of the NBA. So if you get really frustrated by maybe someone like DeMar DeRozan finishing 45, maybe it's just that they think he's going to take a little bit of a step back, being the primary scorer for the Bulls last year and being possible second or third option for Sacramento this year. Again, DeMar DeRozan falls at number 45 on this year's list. He was 39 on last year's list. So a little bit of a fall, but again, a different role this season. So you can understand why that is. And at least it's not a very big fall. The write-up from Kendra Andrews: with the Bulls last season, DeRozan had to shoulder all of the offensive weight. He was the only player in Chicago to average over 20 per game as the injury-riddled Bulls struggled all year. As he begins a new chapter in Sacramento, the Kings will look to maximize his offensive talents, draw double teams, to help take pressure off of Fox and Sabonis. The team will also use DeRozan as a playmaker, an area of his game Sacramento feels is underrated. At number 45, your Sacramento Kings forward, DeMar DeRozan. Number 44, Jalen Williams. Number 43, DeJounte Murray. And number 42, Pascal Siakam as well. Then we go and look for one Domantas Sabonis, who thankfully you have to scroll down just a little bit for. He's not in the 30s. He is, let's see here. Number 32, you have Chet Holmgren. Number 31, you have Jamal Murray. Number 30, you have one Karl Anthony Towns. And then at number 29 is where you find one Domantas Sabonis. Last season ranked number 22. Alan, please explain to me how somebody almost averages a triple-double, led the league in triple-doubles and double-doubles, and yet falls 7 spots lower than they were the previous season. The write-up, again, from one Kendra Andrews. When you look at Sabonis' numbers from last season, it's not easy to comprehend why he dropped, and look at that, they address it right away, why he dropped 7 positions in the rankings. He led the league in triple-doubles and double-doubles, 26 triple-doubles, 77 out of a possible 82 double-doubles, and strung together 61 consecutive double-doubles, the longest streak in modern NBA history. From January to the end of the season, he led the league in assists, period. Full stop. Not for centers, not for, guys who also averaged 20 a game. From January till the end of the season, Domantas Sabonis led the NBA in assists. But he and the Kings enter this season under a microscope after not making the playoffs last season and have more pressure to prove they are still in the mix for the top of the Western Conference. Again, Domantas Sabonis falls at number 29, was number 22 last year. Jimmy Butler falls at 28. Zion Williamson at 27. And then our guy De'Aaron Fox falls at number 26, falling 3 spots from last year's position. And again, the write-up from one Kendra Andrews: Fox got off to a hot start last season, averaging 31.8 points per game through his first 7 games, including a 43-point game against the Spurs. He finished the season averaging 26.6 per game and led the NBA in steals with 2 per game. Despite the continued improvement of the Kings' lead guard, the team couldn't match the postseason success it had in 2023. Some of the names directly in front of Fox, he is sandwiched between Zion and Kyrie Irving at number 25, Paolo Banchero at number 24, Damian Lillard at number 23, Kawhi Leonard at number 22, Paul George at number 21. Come on. What are we talking about?
Look, man.
Ja Morant at number 20. Tyrese Maxey at number 19.
You said that just to tick me off with the Ja. And the Ja Morant, I can't even really get mad at the Ja Morant stuff, to be honest.
Tyrese Halliburton, number 16.
That's... You know what, though, Chris? And I'm going to take this...
Apparently, I don't know anything.
I'm going to take this in a different way because we have some audio from Swaggy P in the next segment that is going to basically, I guess, explain what he thinks happening in these situations, right? And he says some things about Sacramento, but, you know, compared to what others have said, it's been worse. Yeah. So we'll
he's
get
on
to
the Gilbert Arena show.
Exactly.
So he couldn't say something positive.
Yes, they literally made him do it. So we'll connect those dots in about 10 minutes here. But to me, Chris, the most egregious one is Domantas Sabonis by far. I mean, I don't even really understand what and I'm not, look, Kendra Andrews, got love for Kendra Andrews. Yeah. Do not have a problem. We see her at games. Yeah. Great.
I don't think she puts the list together either.
I think what it is whatever your area is.
Yes, exactly.
You kind of say what your thought process is. But I'm just not really understanding. But he and the Kings enter the season under a microscope after not making the playoffs and have more pressure. So all this stuff. So you're saying he dropped because he didn't make the playoffs, or you think they're going to be worse? Yeah. There's actually nothing about his gameplay here. Like they don't even necessarily say, well, he dropped because is it empty calories or whatever it is. They just say, we know he has all this, but the Kings have to make the playoffs. And then
again, this is supposed to be a projection too. So like,
right, you're saying they're not going to make the playoffs again.
Like,
you're not going to make the playoffs, and then in front of that, you have Jimmy Butler, who I can't remember the last time Jimmy Butler played. Zion Williamson, I can't remember the last time Zion Williamson played. Then you get De'Aaron Fox, Kyrie Irving's at the table.
Thank you. I was waiting for it.
Kyrie Irving is a number 2. Paolo Banchero, I love Paolo Banchero, no problems there.
Great.
Damian Lillard,
come on. I mean, he had such a terrible year last year. That's crazy.
Terrible year. The most I see Dame, and I got love for Oakland.
We all love Dame.
The last time I see Dame is he's either rapping or tweeting about the Raiders. That's how often I see Dame.
For some reason, asking him about his divorce.
Yeah, or his divorce, or is he hanging out with Glorilla? That's the only time I see Dame. Kawhi Leonard, knees or dust. Paul George, hyperextension. We in
the preseason.
He might even be a third option. Ja Morant, when he, I'm not gonna. I had something. I was gonna say I had something in the holster there, but that doesn't seem right. Ja Morant. Really, we're gonna put Ja Morant at 20. Tyrese Maxey. I love Tyrese Maxey.
Sure.
Bam, fine.
He's a number
Donovan,
2,
fine. Tyrese Halliburton, we understand, he dresses like Where's Waldo. So people like that. I don't have a problem with the guys in front of them, really. But to me, the Damian Lillards of the world, Chris, back in the day when you would have a AT&T or whatever wireless, and they would say, oh, you still get unlimited minutes because you're grandfathered in.
Yes.
That's what we're doing with the Damian Lillards and the Kawhi Leonards. And to a lesser degree, I'm not going to disrespect Paul George, but the Damian Lillards and the Kawhi Leonards of the world. And Kyrie Irving, I could go back and forth on. They are grandfathered in to being top 30 and top 25.
Top 25,
and we're wondering when you go into the store and say, oh yeah, we changed the plan. You're grandfathered. It doesn't work anymore. You have to buy this new plan. When is that going to happen?
This got to be this year.
This isn't.
It has to be.
When the last time these guys should have been, it was Singular Wireless. That's what it was.
Yep.
I was playing Snake on my phone. What are we talking about here? But I'm gonna put it to you like this, Chris. As far as De'Aaron Fox is concerned, this is on him because there is something to what Swaggy P said.
Sure.
You are in Sacramento, okay? You have to fight through that. So I can sit here and complain about these dudes, or De'Aaron Fox can help us help you when it comes to complaining about De'Aaron getting this respect or not getting this respect. When you have opportunities, when you have big games, show up and show out, and you'll get that respect. Nobody's talking about, and I know a lot of guys were injured. Damian Lillard was injured, which helped Tyrese Halliburton get to where he's at. But nobody is saying Tyrese Halliburton has to leave Indiana. Indiana is not a big market.
Sure isn't.
So you gotta make the market your own. And I think De'Aaron, kudos to him. He says, look, I cannot handle shooting 15 threes a game and having to depend on the dull Swiss Army knife and Harrison Barnes, who's already ticking off Wembanyama. Go look up that clip. We need to get somebody in here, and that's DeMar DeRozan. So again, as we start this De'Aaron Fox segment, if you will, as much as I'm upset about this stuff, it's time for De'Aaron to go take, if they're not going to give you that respect,
go flex.
Go out there and take it.
Yeah.
That's where I'm at with this. Go out there and take it.
Yeah, I mean, that's how you got to play the game, right? And I don't mean the game of basketball. I mean, like, the celebrity game. Like, it's part of it. Like, if you want to get the respect, and some people might say, who cares? Like, it is empty calories. Like, if you're great, if you're 15 on this list, does it mean anything for your success? No, but it is a respect thing. And I think De'Aaron but it'd be very, very nice if he started to kind of put on, and it's not just De'Aaron too. Sabonis can do it. DeMar, I think, is going to help do it. I think Malik, you don't even have to ask Malik to do it. He'll do it willingly. You got to kind of flex. And I think the coolest moment that we've had so far with this Beam team is after that Clippers win, the amazing 153-151 win. Malik, after that game, says, I'm tired of people asking us like, hey, you got to go to the Clippers to go play that. They got to play us too. And I think that's the moment where people really like started to fall in love with that Beam team. It didn't feel like that. Again, last season was crazy boring. It felt like there was just disappointment and just not meeting expectations. This year, I would like them to get a little bit, start feeling themselves. Like, I think PR can be a real positive for this Kings team. Yeah. As we know, they like to kind of play that underdog role. Every time it feels like they play the favorite role, they tend to have a loss that disappoints us. I think at some point here, they got to start feeling themselves and they got to throw their weight around. I will also say the top 5 of this list going into the top 10. Top 10, I assume, is going to be released tomorrow. It starts to get a little bit better, a little more justifiable. I will say, I'll get to it in a second. 15, Devin Booker. 14, Jaylen Brown. 13, Anthony Davis. 12, Jalen Brunson. I'm not really one of these guys that's going to, get on top of the roof and start shouting, but Victor Wembanyama at number 11 on this list. If we're projecting to the end of this year, how are you going to have Victor Wembanyama at 11?
You're saying too low.
I think that he should be higher. I definitely think that at the end of this season, with all the hype
he'll
we're
be in
hearing
the top
about,
10.
He should be in the top 10, no doubt. I mean,
but that's the thing.
Crazy.
It's this weird respect thing, right? It's this weird respect thing where they're probably feeling as if, well, he's not there yet. He'll be there. Yeah. Literally number 11. Yeah. I think that's almost purposely done.
100%.
Right?
He's the last one.
You're close, but you're not there yet. Coming up next, we have that sound from one Swaggy P as he talks about De'Aaron Fox and